Hello friends, in this today's lecture of transportation engineering, we are going to discuss in detail about super elevation. So what is super elevation? Super elevation is the raise that is provided in the outer edge whenever there is a horizontal curve. So the concept of horizontal and vertical curves should be clear to all of you. Whenever you're moving on a road and the road turns leftward or rightward having a certain radius of curve, that is the horizontal curve. And whenever you are going on a straight road and the road is going upward or road is going downward, that is the vertical curve. For example, when you are moving towards a flyover, that is a vertical curve. Okay, so when you are moving on a hilly roads, you can experience simultaneously the horizontal as well, the vertical as well as the horizontal curve. The road is moving upward and leftward simultaneously, or rightward or downward simultaneously. So that is what is actually about horizontal and vertical curves. So basically, where do we provide the super elevation? We provide the super elevation in the horizontal curves. So how the super elevation is calculated and how the super elevation is provided and why the super elevation is provided in the horizontal curves. We are going to see that in detail. Okay, so there is some issues. I am not able to maximize the photograph. Let's see.
It's 1 o'clock.
Okay, so how do we define super elevation? So in order to counteract the effect of centrifugal force and to reduce the tendency of the vehicle to overturn or skid, the outer edge of the pavement is raised with respect to the inner edge, thus providing a transverse slope throughout the length of the horizontal curve. This transverse inclination to the pavement surface is known as super elevation, also known as cant or banking. See, for example, when you are riding a two-wheeler, bicycle or motorcycle or scooter, what do you do when you're experiencing a horizontal curve? Suddenly your body turns. Why does this happen? So that you do not fall. Similarly, when you're moving in on a four-wheeler, you cannot turn in the similar pattern. That is why it is necessary that the outer edge of the road should be raised a bit so that the effect of centrifugal force is reduced and the vehicle does not overturn or does not get skid. Okay, so what is super elevation or how it is expressed? The super elevation is expressed by the letter small e and it is given by the ratio of the height of the outer edge which is raised with the respect to the horizontal width. In the given diagram, you can see that E equal to NL by ML, where NL is the raise provided with respect to ML. So this length ML is approximately very much nearer to the length capital B, that is the width of the road, because it is difficult for us to calculate the horizontal actual length ML. We consider this to be equal to that of B, and we have one relation that the tan theta relation is approximately equal to sine theta for very smaller values of theta, and here the tan theta value is 0, should not be greater than 0.07. The super elevation guidelines say that the value of E should not be greater than 0.07, because if your calculation says that you have to give a very high amount of super elevation according to the design speed that you are going to provide, that will not give a comfortable ride to the passengers of the vehicle. So we will not give that much super elevation. We'll give super elevation of 0.07 and we will restrict the speed limits. Okay, so let us move forward. While calculating the super elevation, we have to take care of three important forces. The first is the weight of the vehicle. Weight is W is equal to mg. The next is the centrifugal force, P equal to mv square by r. The third is the frictional force, capital F is equal to F into R. These two R's are different. P is equal to mv square by R, that is the capital R is the radius of curvature, while in the frictional force you are considering R, that is the reaction force. Okay, so we will see that F is equal to mg cos theta plus mv square by R sin theta. That will be more clear once we see the proper free body diagrams that we are using to calculate the super elevation. Your concept of free body diagrams and your concept of deriving the components in the vertical and horizontal direction is very much important when you do the derivation of the super elevation. So in the on the diagram in the screen, you can see clearly that all the forces are shown here. That is the weight m is into z, centrifugal force mv square by r acting in the horizontal direction, and in the vertical direction is mg, and we have capital F is equal to F into R acting on the road surface. So F into R is given by F is into mg cos theta plus mv square by R sin theta. Okay, so that is the derivation of the components of the force in the direction of the road surface. Now to obtain the value of super elevation, we will equate all the forces along the surface of the road. Okay, so when we equate all the forces, we get mg sin theta plus F is equal to mv square by R cos theta. Now doing all the calculations, we obtain this. If you see in the next page, E plus F divided by 1 minus EF is equal to V square by G R. See, E into F, the value of E I have already said it cannot be greater than 0.07. F is cannot be greater than 0.15. So when you multiply 0.07 into 0.15, you get a very smaller value. And that is the reason we neglect the value E into F and we say that 1 minus EF is approximately equal to 0. And thus E plus F becomes equal to V square by G R. So here V is in meter per second square. Okay. So when we are having the V in kilometer per hour, we can multiply it by 0.278. So 0.278 into V in kilometer per hour will give you the V in meter per second, divided by the value of G is 9.81 meter per second, multiplied by R. So by solving this, we get E plus F is equal to capital V whole square by 127 R, where capital V is in kilometer per hour and R is in meters. Capital V is in kilometer per hour and R is in meters. You may think that how come this is happening, both are in separate units. We can take both in separate units because capital V already gets converted to meter per second, because to obtain this formula we have already multiplied capital V into 0.278. Okay, so I hope the concept is clear how we are getting the value of super elevation. E is the super elevation, F is the coefficient of friction, E plus F is equal to V square by 127 R. But to design the super elevation, we cannot directly use this formula and give the super elevation, because when you use this formula E plus F is equal to V square by 127 R, you may get the value of E as greater than 0.07 also. As you already know by now that E cannot be greater than 0.07. So what are the steps that are involved in the design of the super elevation? When you are practically as an engineer designing the super elevation, what are the steps that you will be following? The first step, we will take the 75% of the design speed. If suppose design speed is 80 km per hour, you consider 75% of 80 km per hour. If the design speed is 100 km per hour, you consider the 75% of 100 km per hour and calculate the value of E. Neglecting friction, E is equal to 0.75 V whole square divided by 127 R. Okay. If the value of E comes less than 0.07, you consider that value of E to construct the road. But if the value of E comes greater than 0.07, you have to move forward to the next steps 3 and step 4. Step 1 is calculate the value of E using this formula. Step 2 is check the value of E whether it is greater than 0.07 or less than 0.07. If it is greater than 0.07, move to steps 3 and 4. What is step 3? Now you calculate the value of E F considering the value of E as 0.07. Consider the value of E as 0.07 and calculate the value of F using the formula E plus F is equal to V square by 127 R. You will get a value of F. If the value of F is less than 0.15, we know that f is equal to 0.15. Now, if using this formula f is coming as less than 0.15, you can consider that E equal to 0.07. Using for that this particular design speed, it is safe. Okay. Now, if f is coming as greater than 0.15, then you have to go to step number 3 to restrict the speed. Okay. Now, how to restrict the speed? You consider E equal to 0.07 and f equal to 0.15 now, and calculate the value of speed. E plus f is equal to v square by 127 r. So E max equal to 0.07, f max equal to 0.15. Consider that value and calculate the value of v max. So whatever the value of V you will obtain. Now, if you have earlier used the value of V as 100 km per hours, now you will get the value of V as less than 100, because using V as 100 km per hour, that conditions of E equal to 0.07 and F equal to 0.15 was not satisfied. Now you will get the value of V as less than 100, maybe 80 or 70 or 60. So if you are getting the V as 60 km per hour, you restrict now the speed of the vehicle to be 60 km per hour. There will be a separate signboard mentioning that maximum speed equal to 60 km per hour. So in that particular zone of horizontal curve, you have to follow this particular maximum speed. So now there is a problem where you have to calculate the super elevation of a horizontal highway curve having a radius of 500 meters and design speed of 100 kilometers per hour. So in this particular problem, you can calculate the value of super elevation using the steps already mentioned. Step 1, calculate the value of E using 0.75 V whole square divided by 127 R. You see that you will obtain the value of E as 0.0886, which is greater than 0.07. So you have to move to the next steps. So next step is calculate the value of F. So when we calculate the value of F, we found out that the F is less than 0.15. So since f is less than 0.15, we do not need to restrict the speed over here. We can consider the same design speed of 100 km per hour and provide a super elevation of 0.07. But if f would have come greater than 0.17, we have to move to step 4 and calculate the restricted speeds. Okay. So with this, we have come to the end of the discussion on super elevation. So I suggest all of you to solve a number of problems, collect the number of problems from textbooks of highway engineering, collect some problems from internet, collect some problems from previous year GATE questions, and try to get the super elevation. Then your concept of super elevation will be more and more clear. So as already I have said, that super elevation is a very important property and very important parameter in the highway engineering. So it is very, very important for you to be clear about the concepts of super elevation. Okay, thank you. That is the end for today's class.